The first card you have your past is the Emperor. So he's really big and strong and forceful and all of that kind of thing. And the other thing about this king is he snaps back. He snaps back. If you say anything to him, he snaps back quickly. And the other way he snaps back is he snaps into action. And I think that's what you were doing at this time. I'm getting this sort of snapping back, snapping into place kind of thing, right? Like, let's snap myself into place. It's like, let's slap myself across the face. I don't think you literally did that, but it's like, okay, enough of this, enough of this. I've got to get myself back into shape right now. And this is changing now. And I think for a long time before this, this happened, I think you were feeling quite emotional. I think you were letting a lot of your emotions rule things. I don't think you meant to do that. I'm not blaming you at all. I know I'm Aries, but I don't blame you for doing that. I think you were just carried away by things. People were saying things to you and they were really affecting your emotions. I think you had some people in the workplace and around you as well saying things to you. And things were saying things that were triggering off memories for you. And then you were having other memories and they were kind of making you very emotional. All of that kind of thing was happening. Yeah, a lot of past memories were coming back to you. I'm seeing that and you were really feeling them. And it was almost as if you'd gone back there in time and you were back in them. So, you know, you're going through all of that and it had gone on for a long, long time. And then I think you just decided to say, no, I have to snap out of this. I can't be like this anymore. I have to really take action on this. I can't just let this, these emotions make me go up and down in waves. I can't live my life like this. That's what I'm getting around this. So you did that. And, you know, when you're in the depths of these emotions, it's not easy to do. You can't just snap your fingers and change how you feel. Your feelings are feelings. But yeah, in making an effort to do this, I think, you know, you tried to focus on what was ahead of you instead of what was behind you and your memories and all of that. As you were taking these steps, I think you were getting stronger and stronger. You were kind of gradually getting your strength back. I think, you know, also there was someone, when you were in this emotional time, who you just couldn't stop thinking about as well. And that was affecting your emotions as well. But you were kind of snapping out of that as well. You're saying, no, I can't keep on thinking about this. When I wake up in the morning, I can't be thinking about this person. When I go to bed at night, I can't be thinking about this person. It's not helping me. It's not doing anything for me. I've got to make an effort. I've got to make an effort to do this. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, you're starting to move away from all of those emotions now, getting back into on track and all of that. There's a big, big shift here, and there's a big shift in your attitude. So it's really, really good. The other thing I'm seeing here is, I think this big shift is really making you more determined to change your surroundings as well, because I'm seeing a whole new group of people around you, and I don't think they're around you now. I think this is going to happen in the future. I think this is probably something you're planning now. So I think you're going to, it might be a new job or a new place of study. It's something, and it's like you're about to kind of set up this new life for yourself, these new surroundings for yourself, to really make new memories. I know that's really corny to say making memories, I know, but you're going to kind of create this whole new atmosphere around yourself, and you're going to completely change your whole way of thinking because of that. Oh, I think I'm going to sneeze. I hope not. Okay, I didn't sneeze. If I sneeze, I'm really sorry, headphone wearing people, because if it just comes, it comes. I'm sorry, I just felt that. Yeah, so anyway, I hope it won't happen. So it's very, 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 very deliberate, because the Emperor is very deliberate about what he wants. He's like, right, I want this. I'm going to take action. I'm in control of this. I'm going to think about this. I'm going to plan it, and then I'm doing it. And so that's how you were. And these are really huge changes. And even that is a huge change, because usually you're quite go with the flow and all of that. But in this, you really decided, no, I'm going to snap out of this. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So the next card you have, your past, the Hermit. Yeah, look at the thought he's putting into this. The Hermit's really thinking. He's by himself. It's dusk or twilight or whatever, so not a lot of people can see him. And he's just thinking. He's planning. He's working out what he wants to do, and he's about to follow what he wants to do with this lab. So I think you're probably alone. And this is by choice. You might be, or you might have been at this time. I don't know if you still are, because this is a big change. And I think a lot of people don't like big changes, and some people are scared of them actually. So I think while you're kind of thinking about this, you are trying to kind of think, okay, let's get this all in my head. Let's sort this out in my head before I actually go out and start telling people about what I'm planning on doing. And I think there are probably some people around you who you still need to convince of this. You might not have told them, or maybe they're not convinced yet. It's something like that. Yeah, there's one specific person I'm seeing. You're either living with them, or maybe you live near them. They're very close to you, and you've been keeping this from them. You might have told them now because this is in the past, but I'm seeing a lot of planning before you come out. And I think, yeah, you just wanted to see if this was going to work. That's all. And you didn't want people to say, oh, don't do that, don't do this. You wanted to make sure you're really strong in this before you had anyone kind of saying that to you. And you are going to talk to people eventually. It is going to feel a little bit like an announcement, and I know you don't like things like that. You don't like standing up in front of lots of people and saying, this is my announcement, this is going to happen. You hate things like that, I think so. But I don't think that can be avoided. I think you're going to have a lot of people asking you questions. You're going to have to answer to a lot of people. So I don't think you can avoid that. So be prepared to that, but for that, I should say. But this new strength that you have, I think that's going to help you with that as well. So yeah, the last card, speaking of strength, the last card you have your past strength. So again, this can be about holding off, taming yourself, stopping yourself from saying things until you're ready. You know, this woman's obviously being very careful around this lion. She's kind of tiptoeing around it. And it's also about determination, which is everywhere in this reading so far. So yeah, you're coming into this really strong, powerful energy. Really, really good. I love this so much. It's fantastic. The other thing I'm seeing is there are some unsure feelings around this, unsteady feelings. I think someone wanted to get further with you. This is about love. Someone was either talking to you, or it was in the early stages of a relationship or something like that. Or you might have been in a relationship, but they felt as if they weren't as close to you as they wanted to be. They wanted to get closer. They weren't actually saying this. I'm actually seeing, I don't know if this is going to make any sense or not, there's some kind of spiritual disconnect between you and this person. And they're kind of feeling like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe this person's very spiritual. They're very deep and meaningful. I'm not quite like that. They say these really profound things, and I'm kind of not really like that. That's what I'm getting. Now, I don't think you think that about them. I don't actually think you've thought all that much about them, so I think this might be someone you're not in a relationship with. That indicates that to me. But they'd like to get, whoever this is, they want to get further with you. They want to get further. They're very afraid. They don't want to come any close to you. They want to, but then they don't because they're afraid. That's what I'm getting. Your focus is going to be on this new place and this new group of people anyway. And this kind of disconnect that you're having with this person, or they're feeling this, you're not going to have any of this kind of disconnection with these new people. I'm not seeing any incompatibility. I think you're going to get along with a lot of people, obviously not everyone, but a lot of these people very, very well. They're going to be your peers. They're going to have the same kinds of ideas. You're going to have really interesting conversations with them, conversations that flow really easily. That's what I'm seeing. And a lot of really good friendships are going to come out of this. And again, I don't know if this is a new job or a new place of study or something, but it's somewhere that's completely new. And you're going to be pushed, or not pushed, you're going to push yourself into this new place, and of course it's going to be a little bit awkward to start with, but once you get used to things, you're going to really feel at home. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So the first card you have your presence, the King of Swords. Yeah, again, this is all about strength, clarity, knowing yourself, pushing yourself forward, guarding yourself from things you don't want, all of that thing, knowing what you want. This is all very, very different from the way you used to be, because you decided to just snap out of this. Now, of course, again, you can't just click your fingers and snap out of this. It's a process, but it's really working for you. It really is. And this new attitude, It's bringing you a feeling of freedom as well. You know, there's a big butterfly right above this king's head. You can't see it, there's a flower there, but you just have to trust me, there is a big butterfly there. And yeah, speaking of butterflies, I think you're probably still in cocoon mode, in hermit mode at this time. You're not taking action right now. I think you're still in this kind of planning mode. But, you know, your lack of action on the outside doesn't mean there's nothing going on the inside. There's a lot going on in there. You're thinking, you're growing, you're planning, and yeah, you're going to burst out of this cocoon. You absolutely are. I think you're almost ready. When you're totally ready, that's when you're going to start telling people. That's when you're going to start really moving forward with this. And there's a surprise here as well. I think you're going to surprise someone with the way that you're doing this. Someone's going to be really surprised at what you're about to do. There's a bit of a difficult feeling around this person. I think they've always underestimated you, actually. Maybe not blatantly, but subtly. It's kind of like, I'm just picking up on someone saying things like, oh, how did you know that? I didn't know you'd know that. You know, it's like that. It's kind of slightly shady. So yeah, I think they've probably been like this for a long time, actually, and I can see why this has upset you in the past. This might even be a parent or a close relative. It's someone you've grown up with, I think. So you're going to shock them, and I think you're going to shock a lot of people, actually. But the beauty of this is you're not doing this for anyone else. You're not doing this to try to shock anyone or to try to surprise anyone. This is for you. You're doing this for you. I think once you might have tried to prove yourself to this person, yeah, I'm getting this really strange dynamic between you. If this is a parent or a sibling, you're definitely not close to them. But yeah, you're not interested in proving yourself to anyone anymore. So this is really fantastic. This is pure Emperor energy that's kind of running through this whole reading. He's kind of started everything off and he's kind of going all the way through this reading. So the next card you have here presents the Queen of Wands. Yeah, this is another really positive card. It's a thoughtful, very thoughtful, very positive. Think before you act. You know, the Queen's very well organised, so she kind of organises herself and then she takes action. I'm also seeing a little bit of confrontation in this card. Yeah, I'm seeing a workplace situation, actually. You know, you've come into this new energy of just feeling really brave. And I don't know whether this new thing is a new job or a new business. Again, I'm not sure what that is. Because I'm seeing that because there's a kind of a nothing to lose. I've got nothing to lose. That's the feeling. Oh, I've got nothing to lose. I'm brave. I'll just say whatever I want. That's what I'm getting around this. So it might be that you're leaving this job, wherever this is that you are. Or it might just be that you have this new confidence. But there's some kind of a situation. And it's all about control, this situation. Control is the key here. I think this has been going on for a while. I think it's been a little bit low-key. Someone's been a little bit sneaky. Again, this is in your workplace. I keep on seeing that. It's this feeling of being sort of quietly undermined, and that's really gotten to you for a long, long time. You've kind of had this people saying this, or this person saying this shady thing and saying more things and doing things, undermining you. It's really gotten to you. And one of the reasons why I think that is because it's triggered off these memories of what you had to put up with this person I was seeing in the King of Swords, you know, this relative or this parent. When you grew up, they were like, oh, you don't know this, you don't know that. And this is triggering that for you. So it's been really bothering you. I don't think you've said anything, but now that you have this strength, what's going to happen is I think you're going to stand up to someone. You're just going to be really just stating the truth. I'm not seeing any yelling. I'm not seeing screaming or anything like that. You know, you have the strength card here, so you'll probably be quite diplomatic and really measured. But yeah, you're going to speak your mind. And I think when you do that, you're going to surprise even more people, I think, if that happens. I love this reading. I love this idea that you're kind of suddenly this really strong person and everyone kind of sits around with their mouths open like an emoji, like, what's happened to them? I love this. It's really fantastic. Okay, so the last card you have here present is the Four of Cups. Yes, so you might have a big fight on your hands, actually, not a literal fight. I just think this person in the workplace, they're not going to accept what you're saying. You're going to come out and you're going to state the facts. you've done this, I'm not happy with that, I think this is a better way to do things, this, that and the other, and they're not happy, they're not accepting it. Everywhere in this reading you're coming up as logic, reason, strength, and they're coming up like this, emotional, stubborn. So just be a little bit careful, because you're all about facts, and they might try to bring some personal issues into this. They might try to get personal. They might try to talk about your personality, even your appearance. It might even go that far. That's how down this person is, how low this person is, I should say. They're not going to stick to the subject either. So I think you're going to have to be really strong around this. You're going to have to try to keep your emotions out of this, because I think they are going to try to make this into something a bit personal, a little bit emotional. Very, very difficult. Don't get caught up in this sideshow. That's the only word I can think of to describe this. And you're really strong now. It's really everywhere. So I don't think you're going to be caught up in these emotions. You're going to stay strong. You're going to stick to your facts. And I think they're going to look like the silly one. They're going to look like the stupid one, especially if this is in the workplace. They're going to be like, oh, but you just said this. Oh, but one day you did this and you said this and you looked at me sideways and you didn't bring me a cup of coffee or something. And then it's going to just look ridiculous. And you look like this in those clothes, and it's all crazy. And you're there saying, no, this is the fact. This happened on this project, or this happened on this day. This was in this email. You're talking about facts, receipts, and they're talking about all sorts of crazy stuff. So yes, you're going to come out of this really well. That's what I'm seeing. So the first card you have for your future is the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so yeah, I've been seeing work, jobs, all of that thing all over this. Newness, new jobs. So yeah, again, it might be that you're going into a new job. Whatever this is that you're doing, if it's a business or whatever, there's definitely money around this. It's not like there's huge piles of money all in one go that are going to fall on your head. I wish I could say that. I wish that happened to me. But yeah, there's a slow build up. It's a slow increase of income that's going to come to you, which is really nice. And I think maybe for the first time in a long time, you're going to have this really great feeling of stability. And the best thing about this is, it's totally coming from you. You're not relying on anyone else. You're not beholden to anyone else. You don't have to do what anyone else says. And that says to me that, yeah, it might be a job or a business, or you might be going into a partnership. And that's going to bring you strength as well. Because if you feel financially stable, that gives you a lot of a strength and kind of like, yes, I'm on top of things, I'm strong, I'm financially stable, I've got savings behind me. If an emergency comes about, I can deal with it. If this happens, if that happens, I can deal with it. I can take care of people I love. I'm strong. That's what I'm seeing in that card. Very, very, very good. I love this so much. The next card you have your future is the Ace of Wands. Okay, so I think this is the time when it all starts. I think, energy, strength, determination, all of this. This card's pure energy. So this is probably when you're going to start to move into this new thing. Yeah, you're going to really grow. You're going to change as a person, even more than you already have. And yeah, there's so much growth in this card. There's growth on the wand. There's also a lot of growth underneath the wand. I'll just pull that down so you can see. It's very, very fertile, very green. So the work that you've already done on yourself and all of this determination that you've had, they're like the foundations that this growth's going to come from, if that makes sense. So, and because it hasn't come naturally to you, because you've had to really, do this purposefully, and you've had to practice getting this strength, that's where your strength is, if that makes sense. So it's like that means that when you get this job, when you get into this, when problems come along and things happen, you're going to be able to stay strong. You won't buckle under pressure. And this is fantastic. This is just the most amazing reading I've seen for strength and determination for a long, long time. And I love seeing you being like this. I love it. It's like a whole new you. I'll lift that up so you can see everything on that card now. So yeah, the last card you have for your future is this card, the Knight of Cups. Okay, so I think this is about this person who's interested in you romantically. The Knight of Cups can be, the knight in shining armor, and cups are all emotions and all of that. So I think this person in the Strength card, again, I don't think they're actually going to come forward as much as they'd actually like you. I think they'd like to do that. And I actually think the feeling I'm getting here is they want to impress you. Because look at this knight. He's all, he's got all this decoration all over him. He's beautifully decorated. He's not running. He's not like the Knight of Swords or the Knight of Wands. He's kind of very still. He's very calm. He's very proud. He's like, look at me. I'm so beautiful. I'm the knight in shining armor. I'm very handsome. That's what he's all about. So I think they feel as if they can't quite impress you yet, and they're going to go away and try and do that, try and improve things and come back to you. That's what I'm feeling. You probably don't know any of this. You're probably fine about them, but they're not going to approach you properly yet. If this is someone you're not with already, they're not going to come out and say, hey, let's go out, let's get together or whatever. They're going to wait for a while, and then they're going to improve themselves, and then they're going to come back and do that later on. That's what I'm seeing happening in that card.